الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا وشفيعنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فقال الله تبارك وتعالى في الكلام القديم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لن ينال الله لحومها ولا دماؤها ولكن يناله التقوى منكم كذلك سكرها لكم لتكبروا الله على ما هداكم وبشر المحسنين صدق الله العلي العظيم. My dear brothers and sisters, after recognizing the omnipotent, the might, the sustaining and forgiving nature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Him giving to us numerous prophets, the greatest of them all, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the two other prophets that we are linked to closely, and the period refers to Prophet Ibrahim and Prophet Ishmael. May Allah bless them, alayhi salam. And the period that we in, we have gone through the most, I would think, successful period where the connection with the act of prophets Ibrahim and Ishmael and connecting with us here on earth at this moment in time. When we look at our youths who are congregating regularly and making the sacrifice, doing what they have to do, being here for Fajr and Maghrib, training, and yet still succeeding in the academic, one has to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless the appearance and those people who are instrumental in getting them here in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the huge success that they are having as a result of being here must be recognized, and that is sacrifice. This khutbah is the sacrifice in and for the ghaib, the unseen. And I want me and you to concentrate on the acts. And Maulana last week, I think 2 weeks, started to lead in that direction. It is not the blood and the meat that Allah wants, neither should we. If we want to be on the path that leads us to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the manner in which He wants us to be, the verse says, it is not their meat nor their blood that reaches Allah. It is your piety. Let us concentrate on piety through the khutbah. that reaches him. He has thus made them, made whom? Made them subject to you. What? What affects piety? That is what he has made subject to you. That you are the controller of. That which affects your piety, which raises the level of your piety or sends it down, subjugates it. That ye may glorify Allah for his guidance. When you recognize that, you glorify him for greater guidance in keeping you along that path. And proclaim the good news. Then we can proclaim the good news. Not before then. And proclaim the good news to all who do good. And that is what we are doing. The objective of animal sacrifice, therefore, as stated in the verse, is for our piety to rise, if it is done properly, and achieve the higher level. And I can say, and the President said it, the manner in which we do Qurbani here and the effort that is put in, we have to congratulate the Jamaat, we have to congratulate the chairman and the committee for the manner in which it is done. And the efficiency that we see and the quest for another level. And that all of us should be doing. And what is our duty towards the Jamaat, towards the effort? It's the same thing. What is our duty? Are we just going to kill the animal and share the meat or eat the meat and that's it? It's more than that. And we hope to investigate a little bit during this khutbah. What is your animal? How is your animal sacrifice? Do we think about Allah's expectation of us before, during, and after the sacrifice? Do we connect it with the people who are in the Holy Land? There's a connection. How can we maximize the benefits of our sacrifice? We need to think about it now, and we need to reflect, because our intention is not when we say it, it's what we think about. The best place to perform the sacrifice is near the Kaaba, of course. Mina, where the pilgrims encamp. After all rites were performed, or after all, if we are following the examples of the pilgrim, and the best place is there. Where is the next best place? Here. But the rites before must be observed. The rites during and the rites after, as demonstrated to us by the pilgrims. We have to reflect now, is it linking to the quest for us to reach that Holy Land? Are we making an intention now to say, well, look, I have not been able to achieve that part of the journey, that part of my journey, upward mobility of spirituality towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I want to make intention now for the Hajj. We should be doing that, inshallah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ جَعَلْنَا مَنْسَكًا لِيَذْكُرُوا أَسْمَ اللَّهِ عَلَى مَا رَزَقَهُم مِّن بَهِيمَةِ الْأَنْعَامِ فَإِلَٰهُكُمْ مِلَّةٌ وَاحِدٌ فَلَهُ أَسْلِمُوا وَبَشِّرِ الْمُقْبِلِينَ. The verse says, to every people did we appoint rites of sacrifice, that they may celebrate the name of Allah over the sustenance. Concentrate on sustenance here. He gave them from animals fit for food. But your Lord is one God. Submit then your wills to him. in Islam, and give thou the good news to those who humble themselves. We have to look at the greater objective, therefore, of sacrifice. And a few words, I look at the commentary in the Quran, and I would have come up across please, appease, and propitiation. Now, when we do something that we ought not to have done, and sometimes we apologize, but we apologize just because we have to apologize. Say, if you think I upset you, I apologize. That is to please. Do we do the Qurbani to please? Or is it the act of appeasing or propitiating? And I just explain what it means. Appeasing is the act to do some sacrifice to bring about some expectation. So we are doing the sacrifice, and it's not only the animal sacrifice, other sacrifices, to not only please, to appease. So that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not send us the earthquakes, the hurricanes. He will give us good health. He will keep shaitan far from us, and He will keep us on the path of Siratul Mustaqim. So we have to have these things in our mind when we are doing the sacrifice. It's to avoid the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you are also celebrating His sustenance, all the sustenance that He gives us throughout the year and years. And we especially now have to share with others. We cannot keep it for ourselves. We share especially to the poor. To curtail what? As the verse said, to curtail the greed. All of us have. To curtail it. To keep it down. And we should look at Surah Takatur that talk about acquisitiveness, where we want to acquire more and more friends, more money, more meat, more this, more books, more of everything. That is a natural nature of us human beings. So we now have to use the periods like these to curtail those kind of things that we have in us, as mentioned in the Quran, and try to build and get rid of the disrespect, the disunity, and establish the unity, as Prophet Ishmael would have shown to his father, Prophet Ibrahim, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We sacrifice our egos, sometimes our perceived rights over others. We have rights over others. If we have to sacrifice it, we think about sacrificing it, we sacrifice it if it is to cause harmony, peace and harmony in the house, in the Jamaat, in the country. We need to look at aspects of what is called restorative justice. In Trinidad, that now is coming where they are going in the direction where if you do something wrong to somebody, you do something right to them. So you don't go to jail where you cannot do anything. So you make sure you're right, you're wrong, in a manner that is pleasing to the person and is pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the building blocks of society can be established and come out from our sacrifices that we make, inshallah. Let us take from the Prophet's last sermon, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that says about the small things, and seemingly the small things matter. A society, a Jamaat that reflects the institutionalized benefit of sacrifices, and this is where this Jamaat is going. And I invite everybody to be on board with it. Be on board with kind words, kind acts, and your presence. So we are institutionalizing not only the Qurbani, but other things, the classes, all the activities, the function that we have here. we're doing it, and we are doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We want everybody, inshallah, to feel part of it. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Al-Kayyisu man dana nafasahu wa amila lima ba'da al-mauti wal-ajizu man atba'a nafasahu hawa wattamalna ala Allah. The intelligent one is he who has subdued his lower self and who has worked for what comes after death. And this is what the hadith says, eh? And the stupid one, this is what it says, I didn't put that word there, is he who has put his lower self in pursuance of its desires and who has vain hopes about Allah. This is Tirmizi, this is Hadith, and Ibn Majah. The person who subdues his lower self is that person who renders himself in complete obedience to the commands of Allah. In this parable, the one who carries vain hopes about Allah is the one who thinks, my Lord is most generous and merciful, and forgets. He thinks the first part, which is good, and forgets that Allah also said, O man and woman, what has subdued you from your Lord, most beneficent? And that is Quran 82:6. Also tell my servants that I am indeed of forgiven, most merciful, and that my chastisement will be endured, the most grievous chastisement. That is Quran also 15:49. Mirkat al-Maftah 9:142 says, the soul is like a horse which would take its own course. Watch our children if we don't rein them in. When without reins, think about our children also, think about anybody. However, when subjugated, when we hold them, when we hold the soul, by them it follows. In this regard, Allama Basri provides a beautiful parable. The self is like a child, who if you leave alone, would grow up in love of suckling. It would only depend on you. Right? But if you wean, it will be weaned. So to all of us, if we allow people to guide us, to give us everything, we'll continue doing so. We have to be independent so that we can grow and help people to grow. So we are weaning from the dependency, the addiction, the niggardliness, the negativity, and we are creating independence, self-sufficiency as a step to be producers instead of only consumers. All of us are consumers. Some qualities of Allah's devotees are mentioned here in ascending order. 1. Humility. Before Allah makes us receptors of His blessing, His barakat, everything that comes from Him, and prepares them to listen to Him, to Allah's message. Fear of Allah, which is akin to love, touches their heart, penetrates through their inner being. 3. They are not afraid of anything in mortal life. They take their trials patiently. Those who are demonstrating the qualities that Allah wants us to concentrate. And they go on in a course of righteousness with constancy. Not 1 month, you pursue very vigorously, and the next month, where are we to be found? It's constancy that is needed. 4th, their prayer is not a matter of form. We don't go down like fowls. but a real communion with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with a sense of confidence, such as a faithful servant feels in the presence of a kind and loving master. And we all know that. Gratitude to Allah as shown by practical acts of charity to all fellow creatures. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to understand that all of us need to strive constantly for better and better. We are at a good position in our lives where we have peace, harmony within our homes, respect, love, and we have peace and harmony in our Jamaat. And inshallah we'll have peace and harmony in the country. And as a community, we would progress with our Jamaat, with our children. But as says clearly by the hadith and the verses, we need to work for it. It is something that we cannot stop working for and taking it for granted. The unseen disappears from us. The value of our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes less. It is disconnecting if we allow it to disconnect. So may Allah help us to continue to connect with Him and receive the highest sustenance, barakat, love from Him, so that we can also be His vicegerent on earth and demonstrate the same thing to each other. Barakallahu lahu lana wa lakum fil Qur'anil azim wa nafa'ana wa iyyakum bil ayati wa zikril hakim.